Welcome, everybody, to this Sketchbook Saga. We are at the end of week 3. And look, this time we have 0 channel things to talk about, right? There's no more what have we done to create thumbnails, no more what have we done to create backgrounds, things of that nature. I'm sure we'll have more of that coming up in the future, but for now, those things are knocked out, they're done. It's all about the drawing all day, every day. That being said, this week posed some interesting challenges, so I deviated a little bit. We did 3 drawings. 2 of them were from YouTube exercises, though, and then one of them was from our initial 30-minute drawing book. And the 3 drawings that we did this week were: 1, a happy tree exercise with pen and ink drawings with kind of the loose scribbles. It was kind of one of those exercises that says, what can you do with what is essentially just loose scribbles? How well can you quantify and really put the aspect of a tree on paper that way? Loved it. I thought it was very interesting. Again, one of my goals is to kind of be a pen and ink drawer, or a pen and ink artist. Drawer is probably just not a word here. But that's really where one of my long-term goals aligns. And so I really enjoyed that one. I thought I was able to get some pretty solid effects for what it was, though it was kind of one of those aspects where I was like, oh, even scribbles or scribbles with quotations, however you want to see it, are something that you would have to practice, something you have to have a free form with, and something you have to stay out of your head for to make it look really good. Second one we did was another tree drawing. It was from a different YouTube education channel. And this particular one was drawing an oak tree. This is a 3-part series, which will be an oak tree, a birch tree, and an evergreen tree. This one I really enjoyed as well. It was charcoal or graphite in nature, and it was something that had this loose structure to it, and then you added hints at details. I really like those artists' shortcuts that they talk about. The only thing I really felt I was falling short on there was the shading and the detailing in that kind of bark, and that's something that I need to work on. And then we moved into figure drawing. The first time I've ever done figure drawing, or at least the first time I've ever done figure drawing in this type of format. And I made sure that I would be on timelines. And last week I talked about that being one of my biggest takeaways, that you stay on a timeline, that you focus, and you make yourself move through the process, that you don't obsess over it 30, 45, 50 minutes over a single figure when your real goal is to just practice figure drawing. So I stayed true to form. I did what I said I would do, and I drew 4 figures in about 20 minutes, and then I went back and added some detail in the last 10 minutes of the drawings. I think this week has kind of shown that while I felt like I had this baseline of talent, everybody should know that even a baseline of talent, whether you think I had it, whether you think you have it, doesn't equate to experience. It doesn't equate to practice, and you are inevitably going to run into this wall of things that's going to be difficult to you. I feel like figure drawing is definitely that first one for me where I looked at it and I just wasn't pleased with my art at the end of it. That being said, I can see redeeming things in each and every one of these drawings, and I can see areas I need to work on. So, for example, in the trees, being confident in my scribbles, being fluid in my hand motions, not hesitating. That is something that I needed to be more confident in. And then also just how I fill in with the pen, knowing how to create gradients in how, not in depth, but how frequent my markings are, right? So I don't want to create these, I want to create loose clusters of shapes instead of too constrained. I'm making it too dark too quickly, and that is muddying up those shapes. So it's kind of the first thing there. Then on the tree drawing, again, we mentioned shading, and this is something that I've kind of started to talk about myself. They use that stump too much versus using hash marks or other textures for shades, and I think it's texture work that needs to happen there, and so that's calling out something that I need to work on to improve. And then with the figure drawing, it's really just an understanding of how that body will be affected in space. I can see the pictures, I can see exactly what that body is doing, but I cannot then execute it with my pen today. And I think part of that is just understanding how that body is going to work, how that body is going to fit together. And so that's something that I need to work on there as well. Overall, my key takeaways this week were just that it's nice to kind of be in the rhythm of things. It's nice to kind of see myself hit a wall here, but not a wall in the way of, oh, I can't move past this. Now the real work starts. Anyway, I hope you have all got something out of this week. If there is anything I can do to improve, please let me know. I always want to be doing that. Until next week, have a great time drawing, have a great time in your general life, and I will see you later.